All right, let's hop right into it. Asher, welcome back on. Welcome to the show. I mean,
Fabulous.
it's been a long
Great to be
time.
here. Great to be here. Yeah, excited to chat with you guys. I know the update, it's been a handful of years. I'm sure things have changed for you guys, and likewise here. Can't wait to chat.
Yeah, dude, it's been a wild ride. I know that recently you moved to Nashville within the past few years since we talked.
Right.
I actually moved away from Nashville in that time as well. I'm now in New York. But just quick, like side story to start off. I was at a concert in Nashville a while back, and I swear to God I saw you. But it was like in the middle of the concert, and I didn't know if I should like go up to you because it was like it was so engaging, the show, and I was like, I'm not gonna go up to him while someone's
Where
playing.
was it? Which one was it?
Corey Wong.
Oh no. So I did go to a Cory Wonka at Brooklyn Bowl.
At Brooklyn Bowl. Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah.
That.
We you probably saw me. Yeah.
Damn, God. I should have gone. I should at the end of the show. I should have gone up to you, but it was like middle of the show. I like glanced over and I saw you, and I was like, that can't be him because I had never.
That was just within like a couple months of moving there too, and I
Oh,
never
really?
been to Brooklyn Bowl before, so that was the first time over there. I think that's like is that in Germantown?
Yeah, yeah.
That side, yeah. Wow, dude, yeah. You should have said something.
That's why I should have. Damn, I missed opportunity. But that I was very interested to know that you're also a Corey Wong fan because I love him.
Don't mean to flex too hard, but I do chat with him actually.
You do? No way.
You're kidding.
Not super regularly, and I'm like, I don't claim to be a friend, but like,
Yeah.
I asked him a handful of questions about stuff. He asked me about TikTok stuff actually, because he was curious at the time to
Wow.
jump onto the TikTok train and seeing what he can do to open up his brand a little bit more. Obviously, you guys know
Right.
that he's like a pocket groove guitarist.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got these shred things that he's like real good at in the 16th note groove template. And he was looking to at the time like jump into a little bit more of like the educational side of TikTok. So can you like ask me questions about what should you do? Because I guess that was kind of my lane and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, very kind guy from Minneapolis, and he's also got I'm just like doxing him now, but like
No.
he has a place down here somewhere. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
anything else. I'll stop right there. So,
No, you're fine. That's awesome though that you've chatted with him and that he's like, he turns to you for some advice on things. That's really cool. Even if you wouldn't consider like friends or whatever, like it's still really cool that
definitely
you've, like,
professional acquaintances now.
Of course, yeah, professional relationship. That's really amazing. But so you said briefly there that like that was your lane, like teaching like things on TikTok. Is this currently your lane? Are you staying there?
I don't think it's changed too dramatically. But like if I'm just speeding forward to 2023 for the last handful of months, I actually, for the first time since 2020 with the pandemic, took some time off from content creating. So I kind of gave myself permission. So I did it like I was basically doing 4 to 5 times a week, kind of posting some kind of TikTok content.
Right.
Did that for 3 years straight. And after 3 years, I just kind of like sat down March 2023 and I was like, I feel like I want to change like this approach a little bit, but still obviously give value to the set of people that I do have as followers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm certainly doing the educational content, but I have, and this is going to be, posted in maybe the handful of months upcoming, but I'm going to start sharing more of the productions that I'm making and like featuring, like asking for open verses and kind of featuring like the style of production that I feel like I've kind of niched down on a little bit. So yeah, I'm just expanding the kind of content I'm doing a little bit. So still stay in the education space, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. How are you choosing to? Well, actually, let's quickly talk about the break real quick because I know that it can be difficult to give yourself that time, especially as an artist and as a creative person. You feel that need to push and push. Like even today, I had a day off from work and I like still worked on stuff all day because I was like, I can't not be doing something to further my career and like further my passions and my work on those passions. So I'm wondering what your mindset was to take that break and like what pushed you to do it and what made it okay, I guess, in your mind to,
Absolutely.
take that
And
break?
great question. You've highlighted all the right points in that, in 2023 as an artist, we know this that it's hard to sleep on content creation if you want to be in growth mode. Like I
Right,
think
right.
that's what I keep telling people. And it's a little bit more important for artists rather than producers. But
Mm,
if you're a producer who does make content, I think that does give you an edge. So that's
yeah.
kind of at least my approach to this. And it was kind of like it was a little more accidental than fully intentional to fall into this.
Mm,
I had a handful of things drop onto my plate, some good, some heavier, and stuff like that. But I
mhm.
I needed to take a break for at least a week, and then after that, I just like kind of sat on it and being consistent and all that kind of stuff. You feel guilty maybe for not
Mm.
approaching the craft in the
Right.
way that you've committed to and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I actually just did a post on Instagram that like the little starting caption is like the algorithm's not going to screw you, and I think that's what a
Mhm,
lot of people fall into the trap of thinking is that
mhm.
if you don't uh you know if you don't post X times on whatever the Instagram stories or YouTube shorts or TikTok or whatever it is,
Right.
that like
Yeah.
somehow you're going to fall behind and somehow like you just won't perform as well, and that's going to really hurt the kind of meteoric rise that you're on or whatever
Yeah.
it happens to be.
Mhm.
And I think that artists and just any kind of content creators, they oversell that to themselves. So what I
Mhm.
think really happens is if you take a break, and I'll let you know in a couple weeks if this is true, but if you take a break, as you might have to worship the algorithm gods for like a week or two, but I think what ends up happening on is that you have a quicker on ramp back to your steady state that you had plateaued at or that you
Mm.
existed within. Um,
Mm.
but you just have to regain the consistency, and then all of the features like likes and follows and all the stuff that the algorithms intaking on it are going to start to you know like respect to you again. And I don't
Right.
actually have any hard proof that that's actually going down,
Uh-huh.
but so far so good. Like I posted a reel and a TikTok, and they were right in the same ballpark as all my other stuff that I've been posting 3 months ago and prior. So
All right.
I know that it takes a lot to be sustainable, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
have to have healthy mental health and to be
Mm.
sustainable. Let me put it
Mhm.
that way, so that you're
Right.
not just in this spiraling vortex of like pressure as an artist, because you're getting probably enough of that from just playing shows and trying to release music to begin with. So
Right. Right.
anyway, so yeah, I kind of fell into that and then gave myself permission once I was like a week off. I was like, you know what, I'm going to take some time off and I'm just going to feel it out. I'm going to reevaluate how I want to
Mm.
approach this. I knew I wanted to come back.
Right. Right.
And yeah, now I'm here again. So I'll let you know the evidence in the near future.
Perfect. I
I'm
mean,
looking forward to that.
yeah, me too. And when you're so during this break, did you find yourself how did it affect your creativity? How did it affect the way that you approached certain projects you were working on, not having the video aspect or the content creating aspect
Mhm.
of it as a main focal point, or I guess not a main focal point, but as a focal point of your art?
Sure, absolutely. And so I think it was helpful. I think it was helpful for me to like take the light that I was shining on the content creation space and just give it to something else. So
Mm,
in this case, I gave it to working on projects. And I used to I batched TikToks. I can't remember if I was at that point when I talked to you guys last, but like Mondays were my content creation days. So I
mm,
would like all everything that I wanted to do, all my ideas I'm like thinking about over the weekend. I don't really do anything actionable until Mondays, and then that's all I would do on Mondays. Um,
gotcha.
so I basically was able to give Mondays back to myself to like work on mixes and to like be a little bit more like hanging out with some people or going to a show and giving away an
Right.
evening in the week. And I was able to prioritize my artists a bit more.
Mm,
And then I'll kind of sneak this one in on you because I'm not sure how much I can talk about this, but I was also reading a lot of legal documents
mm.
because a couple of my artists, namely one of them, may or may not be interfacing with a major label deal right now too. So
Wow,
All right.
another
Okay.
exciting little thing,
That's
which
awesome.
that's awesome.
yes, I can't unfortunately here I can't name names because they
Right.
haven't
Right.
allowed the announcement yet. So
I get
Mhm.
it.
I'm tight-lipped about that at the moment, but either way, very excited about where that's going and what that's going to look like in the future. And yeah, so but I becoming like a legal expert and reading legal documents is not like intuitive, at least for me. So I spent a
Smart.
lot of time like learning about record labels and like figuring out
Yeah.
how the label interfaces with the publishing company, interfaces with the producer and manager and the
Yeah.
artist, kind of like how the org chart kind of ties together.
Right. Right.
Which I hadn't really made tangible for myself in a while. So anyway, yeah, kind of gave some time to that, gave some time back to my artists, and let myself
Mhm.
have a little bit of free space.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the legal stuff, that's literally my job, and it's
Yeah,
also very difficult. Like, is even because every single agreement that you read is different, and it's its own thing because it's a different artist, and there's just it's a lot of hard things to process when you're reading, and also like, how is this relating to me as like the artist? And
yeah, and I
it's
felt
a
like I
lot.
needed like honestly, I needed like graphs put out because
Yeah.
like there's
Right.
like, somebody gets like a producer royalty is different from the artist royalty even after recoupment, and especially
Yeah.
after recoupment because of the threshold target for the ground up for the producer, and the artist really just starts getting it after, but they got the advance up front, they recoup out of their small percent.
Yeah.
Man, I have
Dude,
leveled up
it's
my knowledge on all of
yeah.
that stuff that I had literally no clue how it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like learning that stuff is like the Charlie Day meme from It's Always Sunny when he's
So
like talking about
Yeah.
whatever person he's trying to find. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny. But yeah, it's a wild process. But that's really great that that break that you took, you were able to, learn
Yeah.
about all those new things, and now you can implement them into the projects that you're working
for
on. That's
sure,
very cool.
100%. Very thankful for what I hope will be a very big learning year. That is the catalyst was kind of this moment of
Right.
taking a little bit of time off. So artists,
Mm.
you don't have to be on all the time. You don't. It's just like if you need a
Mhm.
break, take a break. It's going to be healthy for your long term stuff, and like that's really what you're after is not falling
Mhm.
off the horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's great advice. Do you think that I guess like breaks in general, like has your mindset shifted on I guess like the purpose of a break, or like maybe more often, maybe you allow yourself to do that more?
Yeah, I think and this is maybe artist focused rather than producer
Mhm.
focused because I think I do
Mhm.
have probably two different messages for each of those cohorts. But like I think artists can think phasologically, or if that's a word, but like in phases rather than
Mm.
in perpetuity. So like instead of doing
Mm.
X all the time, like there are some artists that are dropping a song every month, and then you probably have some like natural content all the time to be sharing in short form for the videos or telling the behind the scenes
Right.
story
Right.
or like asking for an open verse or whatever it happens to be. Um,
Right.
but if you're say releasing a couple singles a year and maybe one album, there'll be stretches of time where like you don't really have anything super meaningful to say. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's an entirely inappropriate time to go dark, or at least to go
Mm.
darker. Like you don't have to disappear
Right.
Yeah.
fully, but like if you're just posting like once a week on Instagram or TikTok, like that feels like that's still a fine relationship. But and then when you're in hustle mode and you've got your
Mm.
T minus 2 weeks before you're released to T plus 4 weeks or whatever it is, where you're just kind of
Yeah.
like trying to show the world this piece of art that means something to you. Like I
Mhm.
expect you to want to hustle almost a little bit if you want to grow, if you want to share that, and if you want to
Right.
really
Right.
be an artist that is successful in 2020. So I think you just have to take stock of what the natural rhythms of maybe your year are if you're writing
Mm.
material and releasing material. Um, because yeah, I think there are appropriate times where that totally makes sense. But like, if there's somebody that's, if you're releasing a bunch of songs and you're not sharing it, I don't feel like I'm trying not to make too big of a deal of this because like if you want to make art because you love it and not share it with anybody, that's great too. Like I'm not trying
Right. Yeah.
you know push people away from that, but if you want to grow and you want to engage in
Mhm.
2023 culture, then
Like most people.
Yeah.
right, absolutely. And then there's no reason, like I feel like you should almost want it, you should be hungry for
Mhm.
it at those
Right.
points in time, but then you can back off that hunger a little bit when it makes
Mm.
sense. So phasal
Yeah.
logical, that's a word.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I like that.
that hunger, it's actually very interesting that you bring that up because that like drive to work on your art and your passion, it comes and goes, it wanes because, we go through a lot of things in life when it affects us. But I know Lucas and I were recently talking about this with our good friend Max that we've been having a hard time with writing or making music for people to listen to and not making music for us and what we
Mm,
really want to make. And so
mm,
we recently did this thing where we said we're going to make an album in a day. We're gonna
Wow.
write, record, like everything in one day, and we did it, and we released it in that 24 hours. And it was the most like insane thing we've ever done. Just the process of having
Yeah.
your mind like let go. It was like you had to unlock. And once you unlock, you just kind of let everything flow out, and whatever happened, happened. Are the songs all great? No. But we just like let our stream of consciousness go. And it was just so refreshing
It's
to
freeing,
not
really.
think about every single little aspect of every song that we make.
Right. It challenges. It definitely challenges you in that framework. It challenges you to confront any insecurities, and I think that is a
Yeah.
wildly healthy thing for artists to do. So I'm certain that like, yeah, there's probably points in that journey where you're like, hey, this one definitely is not as strong as this song, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you got to run with it anyway. And it's like
Yep.
we're
Yeah.
putting it out there, and somebody's gonna hear this, and like possibility that somebody judges me based on these
Right.
decisions, and to be able to let that go is very powerful. So good on you guys.
Yeah, it was such a very cool experience. We've been like telling people that they should do it if they have like other
Yeah.
musician friends. It's just for a fun exercise, because really it was more fun than anything. I think there was one moment where we hit a roadblock and we were like we couldn't decide. Oh, I don't know if we want to use this sound or this synth here, and we were just like, you know what? Why are we even talking about it? We have
Yeah, let's just
24
put it on.
hours. Let's just put it on, and if it sucks, then it sucks. Who cares? But it's fun, and
Yep.
we
In a
really
lot
just
of
let
ways,
that
it's
push.
the reverse advice, than the break. It's the just do it. It doesn't matter, because I think sometimes people will justify their breaks as I need a break, and they're just scared to do something,
Right.
and you don't have to be. You're really just do it.
Right. Absolutely. And yeah, so and it it teaches you a different skill set too, right?
Yeah.
Like it teaches you to make decisions and like be
Right.
like really in tune with what you like and what you don't like. I feel like I'm totally misquoting Rick Rubin by saying this too, and I want to go back to a statement you guys just both made, I think. But like, there also isn't anything wrong with just doing what you like, or like
Yeah.
making the art that you like.
Mhm.
And then I
Right.
think as compared to maybe making the art that is for other people, or like the option or the function is to bring them into the fold.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
I think eventually the goal, or like the target you're shooting for with your arrows here, is to eventually do exactly what you like. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and not necessarily force it on listeners, but don't care too much about how many people are there. But then obviously you're wrestling with like, if I'm going to be
Right.
sustainable and stuff like that.
It's
I
that
totally
it's
get
that
that.
equilibrium that's
But yeah,
just it's hard to
but being
find.
there and like this is my, what did he say? He was like, I just bring my offering to a deity or something like that, Rick Rubin.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
but it was like, because he knew he loved what he did, that he would always be satisfied personally with it. And that was, if somebody like him is striving for exactly that, I feel like that's at
Right.
least a pole that we should all be considering.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
That's
I
well
agree.
put. That's
Yeah.
well put. Because I mean, he is the deity, really.
Right. He's the model that we're all like trying to be. It's so funny because
Yeah.
see those clips of him, and it's like some of them are hilarious and some of them are crazy insightful, and some of them
Yeah.
are actually. But like, yeah, I love when they clip that one phrase of him basically saying like, people pay me for my confidence in my taste, and like I just get a kick out of that every time I see
I
that.
love
It's like
that.
Yeah.
the reason my next employer is going to hire me, and it's like I have confidence in my taste. It's like, well, that's kind of what we all want to cultivate for real. I know it's kind of a joke, but like that's
Yeah.
kind of what
No,
you
it's
want
so
for your
true.
process.
Like I think at the end of the day, like and this is one of my more controversial takes. I'd love to hear what you think of it. I think at the end of the day, when we're not just musicians, when we're not just playing, right, and performing, when we're writing and creating, we are only decision makers. And the musical, like I guess like the actual functional aspect of it is separate in a way that we are judging ourselves and making decisions about the things we're playing. And really, we're just a mind making random decisions. And it kind of extends itself, I think, into another conversation, which I don't really want to get into, about AI and like how you have AI throw a bunch of things at the wall and you pick and choose. And I don't know how different that is than when we're just coming up with stuff. I don't know Do you have anything to grab onto from
Yeah,
that?
and maybe to formalize that in a different way, it's like your brain, right? The mind, I'm using very Eastern language, but your crown chakra here, where
Right.
where your body is the performer, right, and your brain is the decider almost, right? And then now
Yeah.
just taking the body away, and we're making AI another option for a body of what has been
Right.
performed, and then we're just
Right.
curating the pieces that we want from it. And yeah, I'm optimistic about the future. I don't have any crazy. I wish I had more hot takes about AI because it's like relatively popular to talk about and stuff like
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, deciding is one of the enormous parts of my job as a producer. Is that
Mhm.
you idea generate, and then it's like, okay, what is best? And it's like I shouldn't take a lot of time to do this because I don't want to, like, if I'm booking hourly or if it's my time or whatever, it's like I don't want to waste my time 3 hours on an improvisational exercise for an
Right.
instrumental part of a song when I like had the raw materials in front of me that were just good and they already hit me. So
Right.
like there's something about the decisiveness that can be really both effective and efficient in the studio. So yeah,
Right.
totally agree.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we all kind of just last thing I'll say about that is like I think we all have this dream of being able to just replicate what's in our head, you know.
Of
And
course.
I feel like a lot of times our hands are just ways to try to do that,
There you go.
you know.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. You can put that on a postcard.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
right?
say you could make that a T-shirt, a postcard, one of the.
Exactly. Actually, yeah, you got to get the one Fern things, and you got to get like a big like statement piece on the bottom of a shirt.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
get
right.
some of your hot takes on there.
that'd be great. But yeah, Asher, what's next for you, man? What are we working on now that the break is, you're back, you're working on stuff. What is the next step? What are you working on?
Yeah, so won't go too much into detail. I compartmentalized one part of the conversation, which I am very excited about. But I kind of gave myself the mantra of this is a learning year for me. So like intake is just as important as outflow for me, and some of that
Mm,
comes in form of like we were saying, like legal documents, how a record label works. Honestly, like I've gotten pretty deep into the co-writing circuit here because a bunch of
Wow.
publishers have figured out that I got a cool room and I can demo stuff very quickly in my space.
Yeah.
So
I love your room.
thank you, appreciate that. You guys should stop by sometime when y'all are in town. Uh,
Yes.
but like that's a huge, first of all, it's a huge way people network here. And I could have probably
Mm.
told you that before I moved to Nashville, but you don't really know until like you start to get integrated into the scene and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
been thankful to interface with like maybe 3 publishers now that are kind of sending me some folks to co-write with, and I've enjoyed a
Wow.
lot of that. It's one of those where it's like you're only kind of reaping benefit if that ends up being like pitched to somebody big or gets cut by the
Right.
artist or anything like that. But
Right.
honestly,
Right.
just meeting people, like co-writes are the way to do it. And like there's a lot of folks that are like I don't know, the folks that live in East Nashville who are just like, yeah, let's set up a co-write and we'll just like
Yeah.
that's how we become friends almost. And I
Yeah.
think that's a cool fabric that I don't really understand as much, but for the ones that are like, the professional songwriters and they're hustling in this culture, like
Right. Right.
I catch an energy from that for sure. So learning how a lot of different people are writing songs. It's different than the
Mm-hmm.
way I'm writing songs. So, and
Right.
that's a beautiful thing when you can put those minds together and then create something brand new. So,
Yeah.
yeah, legal wise, songwriting wise, I'm let's see, just got a couple pieces of new gear and software. So I'm like trying some stuff out, opening up to even more digitization. So like I've
Mm.
got the I don't know if you guys have heard of the Scarby Rickenbacker bass plugin.
No.
Oh
I
no.
hadn't heard of it, and I'm very skeptical because I'm actually a bassist first.
Oh.
Okay.
I play bass guitar on definitely every track, but man, this is definitely the best bass guitar plugin I've ever interfaced with. So like,
Wow.
I'm like, am I going to go keyboard digital with this more frequently than not now? So
Really?
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
opening
I couldn't
myself up
imagine.
for new things coming in, as well as the outflow of content and stuff like that. So that's kind of been my stuff or my not fully mantra, but an ethos for the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. I'm excited for all the projects that you're working on and everything that you're doing. I'm interested because I know you have done some live streams where you'll listen to certain people's songs or you'll give input. Lucas has an album coming out.
Let's
And
go.
I also have an
Dude,
EP
this
I'm
week.
working on.
Let's go. Let's go.
So maybe we'll hop on one of those lives sometime, and we'll send you
So
stuff.
it's the perfect time to ask me that question, literally, because not tomorrow because it's the 4th, but the next week I'm starting up my Tuesday. So Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Central.
sweet.
I'll be there on TikTok. So yeah, and I've been off for 3 months, so literally just gonna start back up, start to
Wow.
get the algorithm churning again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hell
guys, let
yeah.
me know, pitch it out, and I'll queue you up in the like first 3 if you want. So
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I love
Also,
that.
just to get some, feedback on the stuff we're writing. I'd love to get your perspective on things that we're writing and working on. I think
no
that'd be
doubt,
really
happy to
cool.
help.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But so we're kind of like running out of time a little bit here. So we've been asking everyone that we've been interviewing what their favorite 100 based thing is. For example, mine has been a 100-degree chair. So not temperature wise, but so a 90-degree chair. You're not really relaxed. You're very straight up. But if you're a 100-degree chair, a little bit back, a little
Okay.
relaxed, but you're
Okay.
still able to work on stuff, and you're still like able to be involved. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna fall asleep in a 100-degree chair. So that's mine.
Fair.
Um,
So you're
so
so you're talking about things that are measured in sets of 100, or are you saying like like a scale from 1 to 100 of something? I just want to make
could
sure I'm answering the question.
yes. So it could be really anything. So we realize we've been trying to figure out the right way to word the question.
Okay.
Hasn't
Yep.
really worked out well. But someone said they're 100 Pokemon cards they've had since they were a child. They had like these really, really cool ones. Someone said,
Give us a 100 quote.
Yep.
Like,
Oh no, I
that's
think
the
I have
100?
one, but it's not going to be what you expect. So
okay.
Okay.
because I didn't really
Okay.
highlight this, because so another part of what I kind of reinvestigated during my content hiatus, or whatever you want to
Mm.
call it,
Mhm.
is like I visited my buddy in LA. A little bit of story here. Visited my buddy in LA who is like super into like vinyl, and
Mm.
has this kind of does yoga all the time, and like he's very healthy. And
Okay.
I spent a week with him, and like we had a lot of conversations about a lot of stuff. With one of them amounted to me being curious about kind of getting into like health stuff. And now,
Mm.
please don't take this in the wrong. Like I am not. Like I go for runs. I do like some hit workouts on YouTube and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
have been like counting calories for the first time in my life.
Wow.
And I've been targeting 100 grams of protein every single day.
Good for you.
Wow.
So I think my response to that question is my sliding scale of my macronutrient that is protein. So
Wow.
run with that one. This might
I love
be
it.
the only phase in my life that I embrace health stuff. But thank you, my friend Tyler in LA.
Wow.
For
It worked
introducing
out
me.
perfectly for this question though. So that's great.
That's
And
perfect.
that's my threshold. So I'm all in to get 100 grams of protein in a day. There you go.
That's really
Amazing.
healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, Asher, thank you so much for coming on, man. And it's always great talking music with you and just talking, anything with you. So definitely want to have you on again sometime. Let us know when these projects come out. We'd love to talk about them.
Mhm.
And yeah,
100%. Yeah.
thank you.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's talk in I mean, we can talk before then, obviously, but in like just 1 year from now, I think I'll have
Mm.
a lot of stories to tell from live show
Oh,
experience, from possibly major label world, all that kind of stuff. So let's
yeah.
definitely be
I
in
love
touch.
that.
Let's do it. Yeah, no, we will for sure keep in touch. I'll let you know when this comes out, and when we put out clips and everything. And yeah, I guess we'll see you on that live, and we'll send you some
Yeah.
some of our songs.
Love
See
Can't
what you
wait to
think.
hear. Looking forward to it.
And I'm looking forward to your stuff as well. So again, thank you so much, and
Yeah, thank you.
we'll talk to you later, man.
Appreciate both of you guys. Thank you.
No problem. See ya.